"I've been so busy lately" is the most successful social camouflage ever invented. We use it like a shield, a polite curtain drawn over the messy reality of who we actually care about. Think about it. You are sitting there, staring at a notification from someone you are theoretically interested in, perhaps someone you claim to love, and you see the screen light up. Your thumb hovers over the icon. You read the preview. Then, you lock your phone, toss it onto the couch, and return to mindlessly scrolling through an app where you are liking photos of strangers, watching 15-second clips of people you don't even know, or answering a work email that could have waited until tomorrow. You aren't busy. You are simply choosing to prioritize the dopamine hit of the irrelevant over the vulnerability of the important. We all do it. We have curated a culture where being swamped is a badge of honor, a socially acceptable way to say, "I am currently allocating my limited time to things that require zero emotional labor from me." It is a convenient lie, a frictionless way to keep people waiting in the wings without ever having to tell them they are not the main act. The architecture of this lie is remarkably simple. When a stranger or a casual acquaintance reaches out, we often respond with a performative speed because there is no emotional risk involved. It is safe. It is trivial. There is no fear of rejection, no weight of expectations, and certainly no need to be vulnerable. But when the person who actually holds a piece of our heart sends a message, the stakes change. Suddenly, we feel the pressure to perform, to be witty, to be available, or to manage their expectations. So, we do the coward's dance. We wait. We wait because we want to appear busy. We wait because we want to maintain the upper hand. We wait because we are terrified that if we answer too quickly, we are exposing exactly how much they occupy our thoughts. We convince ourselves that taking 3 hours to reply to a simple "how's your day?" constitutes setting boundaries or maintaining a life, when in reality, it is just a power move fueled by ego. We treat the people we love like options, keeping them on a shelf until the timing suits our psychological convenience, all while labeling it as productivity. Look at your screen time analytics. Look at the timestamps of the last 10 messages you sent versus the ones you ignored. You will find a brutal pattern. You are never too busy to check the weather, to track a delivery, or to see who liked your latest post. You are only too busy for the people whose presence makes you feel something. The tragedy here is that we have weaponized communication to validate our own importance. By keeping someone in the pending category, we are subtly signaling that our time is the only currency that matters. It is a slow, quiet violence committed against the people closest to us. We call it independence, but it is actually a profound form of emotional hoarding. We want the connection to exist, but only on our terms, at our pace, and within the comfortable confines of our own agenda. If someone points this out, we get defensive. We talk about how demanding the modern world is, how draining our jobs are, and how overwhelmed we feel. We construct an entire narrative of exhaustion to justify the silence. It is an elaborate stage play where we are the only ones who know it is a production, and the victims are left wondering if they said something wrong or if they have lost their luster in our eyes. The truth is, humans are efficient creatures. We gravitate toward what we value. If you wanted to talk to them, you would have already hit send. You wouldn't be agonizing over the right amount of time to wait to preserve your image. You wouldn't be asking your friends, "Is it too early to reply?" You would just talk. The friction we create, that long, hollow gap between receiving a message and acknowledging it, is not born of necessity. It is born of fear and self-importance. We are afraid that being available makes us seem desperate, and we are obsessed with being perceived as people who are in high demand. We treat communication like a transaction where we want to ensure we aren't overpaying in effort. And the irony is, by playing this game, we kill the very intimacy we claim to desire. We turn meaningful dialogue into a chess match. We replace warmth with strategy. We treat the people we love like a pending task on a to-do list, something to be managed alongside grocery shopping and answering Slack messages, rather than the most significant part of our lives. When you finally do reply after those strategic hours of silence, you are rarely being authentic. You are being curated. You are crafting a response that says, "I was doing very important things," when in reality, you were probably just staring at a wall or watching a show you have already seen twice. We lie to them, and in doing so, we lie to ourselves. We pretend that this distance is healthy, that it keeps the spark alive. But it doesn't. It creates a vacuum of insecurity. It teaches the other person that they are secondary, that they have to wait for the scraps of our attention when we feel like dispensing them. It is a toxic cycle of validation seeking where we feel powerful for making someone wait, and they feel diminished for having to wait. It is a slow decay of trust. We think we are protecting ourselves from getting hurt, from looking too keen, or from losing our individuality. But all we are doing is ensuring that the connection remains shallow. Consider the reality of the people you truly prioritize. When a boss you fear calls, you answer instantly. When a client who pays your bills pings you, you reply with a professional apology if you are late. You find the time because the cost of not doing so is high. You have prioritized them because there is a tangible consequence to ignoring them. With the people who love us, there is no immediate penalty, so we let them drift to the bottom of the list. We take their patience for granted. We assume they will always be there, sitting in our pending folder, waiting for the crumbs of our time. We treat our closest relationships with the least amount of respect simply because we believe we can afford to. We think that love is a fixed resource that we must ration out to remain in control. The reality is that love is the only thing that grows when you spend it freely, and it is the first thing that dies when you start tracking the ROI. Eventually, the people who are constantly left waiting stop reaching out. They don't do it out of malice. They do it because they have finally realized the truth. They are not a priority. They are an afterthought. They stop sending the messages, they stop checking to see if you are free, and they start filling their time with people who don't feel the need to weaponize silence. And when that happens, you will reach for your phone, notice the absence of the red badge, and feel a pang of loneliness. You will wonder why things went quiet, forgetting that you were the one who built the wall of silence in the first place. You will blame them for changing or for moving on, when all they did was stop knocking on a door that you intentionally kept locked. You will realize that all those hours you spent pretending to be busy were just hours wasted, spent building a cage that you eventually locked yourself inside. The silence you cultivated was not a sign of your independence, it was a testament to your inability to be present. You were so busy managing the perception of your time that you failed to actually live in the moment with the person you supposedly valued. You traded a human connection for the hollow comfort of control. You are not too busy to reply. You are just not interested enough to care.